live. All right, we are now live on YouTube for all the folks out there in YouTube land. And we will start announcements around 7:05 as usual. Let me see if I can. Oh, I gotta get the presentation. The presentation is important. All right. Sorry, I was trying to get some stuff done before things started, and as a result, I am slightly less prepared than I usually am, but we'll see. Fortunately, most everything's in the same place, so I can at least rely on muscle memory.
We're live.
Okay.
All right. And presenter view. And then someone. All right, got that. And then I will resize the slideshow so it's the proper aspect ratio for folks, if it'll let me. There we go. All right, 7:04. And now I should be able to. Let's see, share screen and share the opening presentation.
Ta-da!
All right, victory. We have screen sharing and
Yes.
we're doing well. And I have my official Code for Boston hoodie, thanks to Mike. So very, very excited about that. Yeah, and thanks to everyone that donated with the hoodies. I got the money from Mike for that, and that put a little extra in our account for this year, which is great for keeping things, as we're allowed to travel and go places. But we've also been finding ways to spend that money in some other useful ways as well, since we haven't had to buy pizza. All right, here we go. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Code for Boston. My name is Matt, and I am on the leadership team at Code for Boston, along with Annie. Harlan's somewhere in here. I made Annie the other co-host because she was in the list that was right there. Alex is here. Harlan's here. I'll make him a co-host. I think Thad might be somewhere in here, but too many screens to keep scrolling. If you have any questions, need help with anything, feel free to talk to any of us on leadership, anyone that's a co-host. We'll be more than happy to help and go from there. So general announcements. First and foremost, read our code of conduct. Our code of conduct is at codeforboston.org. The gist of the code of conduct is we want folks to be respectful, and we want you to feel respected and safe in this space. And if for some reason you're not, talk to one of us and we will deal with it. We're empowered to enforce the code of conduct. It includes kicking people out if necessary. Fortunately, you're all pretty great, so haven't had to do that lately. Make sure to RSVP on meetup.com/codeforboston. It boosts our thing in the meetup algorithm, so more people find out about us. I imagine there's some new folks in the Zoom announcements. But if you're not into RSVPing on meetup.com, if you're on social media, you can like retweet us, you can Instagram, you can follow us on Facebook, you can invite your friends to follow us on these platforms. We're trying to better tell the story of all your hard work on some of these platforms. And so you should be expecting some more content on those. So then that way, folks can find out about what's going on. Make sure to RSVP on Zoom if you want to be on Zoom, especially if you're a project lead or you're new, so you can be in new member orientation. And then fundraising, you can Venmo me if you have a small amount of money or just extra money in your Venmo account at Matthew-Zagaya. Funds get matched 2 times. And that Venmo money has supported, a couple $1,000 of our budget, which is awesome. So really appreciate all the support you all have given us. Otherwise, folks can donate at codeforboston.org. And if your company has some kind of matching program, if it has some kind of like support or need for anything, or like wanting to sponsor meetups, we can make that happen. Talk to me or Harlan. So that's all the normal announcements. But before we do events, I did want to pause for a special comment. I wrote this comment just because it would make it a little easier than trying to do it off the cuff, although I wrote it maybe an hour ago. But like many of you, we at Code for Boston sit in grief at recent events in America. We believe that Black Lives Matter, and our hearts break at seeing the police brutality against them over the past few days. The violent response of our president has only made things worse. Whether it is in the streets or on social media, I've been hearing the pain of a community and taking time to listen. Code for Boston has always been a place where we take action, and in meeting this moment, it will be no different. We plan to be thoughtful in how we take that action, and so we're going to be taking time to listen to voices that have been involved in ongoing efforts around justice, racial equity, and anti-racism over the coming days. As a starting point for tonight, we've made a form inviting members to recommend a variety of programming ideas to help Code for Boston engage better with communities of color and with the local activist community. Speakers, organizations to partner with, project ideas, and more will all be on the inbound. We want to listen to the people who have been doing this work for a long time and who are experts in their fields, and figure out how we can best help to support their work if it's useful. We'll also be figuring out how to best facilitate a discussion among folks who want to be a part of this conversation in our community. In the meanwhile, I just want you to know that you can always send Harlan or I a message, Slack, email. We can figure out a time to call. Our doors are open. So with that said, let's move on to events. This is the wrong BARI conference, but there's still a BARI conference on Friday. BARI conference is not on cross-municipal collaboration because I did not do my homework, but there's going to be one. I will post the link in the Slack. All right, let's move on to project updates. Let's start with the My City Voice app.
Hey everyone, so last week on My City Voice app for Boston Info, we launched an update, which is pretty exciting. So now you can get the latest info from the city of Boston on COVID-19 just by asking your Alexa device. Other than that, for Boston Info, we're going to continue down our list of features and improvements that the city provided with us after the first version was released a couple months ago. Over on the City of Brookline app, we're just going to continue down our V1 feature list from the City of Brookline. On both projects, looks like we have some pull requests that opened this past week, so I'll be taking a look at those. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Jamie. Safe Water.
Hi, everyone. So tonight we'll be deploying our MVP for the app that tells you if it's safe to boat on the Charles based on real-time data. So yay. And we'll do some design work for a data sharing and data visualization tool with the idea to to bring open environmental data about the charts to the public. We are looking for Python Flask developer from any level, data visualization or GIS specialists and designers.
Awesome. Harm reduction.
Yeah, hey guys. So last week we went through some notes from interviews that we did and kind of discussed the plan going forward and met with our partner, which was really fun. Tonight we are going through what we did last sprint and planning for next sprint and investigating kind of open source options for CRMs. And we're looking for UX researchers and anyone who's experienced with React or Firebase development.
Great. Job hopper.
Last week, we split into two teams, one reviewing the persona development and the other one reviewing data visualization. Since then, we've interviewed a sixth person, so that's a real high-end policy analyst. They're very interesting notes. And this week, we're going to continue with our data visualization and persona development. And we're looking at using Tableau as one of our software programs.
Awesome. Next, I think Thad's going to talk about the earned income tax credit.
Yeah, hello everyone. There's an exciting project that's starting in the Code for America network all across the country. And last week they had about 75 or 80 volunteers in their weekly meeting, which comes up tomorrow. And I just wanted to take this time to pitch this because there's 4 different organizations in Massachusetts that help people fill their taxes, and they need technical support and technical help through the Code for America network. And we have an opportunity to plug in. And if you join the Windfall Awareness channel tonight, I'm happy to sit down with you and work with you and figure out how we can start supporting. So one of the 4 tax filling organizations that helps people in Massachusetts has already been supported by the Code for America network. That's the biggest one. But there's another couple in Worcester and 2 other parts of Massachusetts that still need a lot of help. And so join for the orientation to hear a little bit more of what I know, or join the call. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Thad. Plug along. Anyone from Plug Along?
Yep, I'm here.
Oh, cool.
So I was actually not at the Hack Night a week ago, so I am not 100% sure what we did, but I assume that it's the same thing we've been doing for a while, which is getting ready to launch the app. So today will be more of the same, just putting the final touches on and figuring out how to get it into the app stores.
Great. Love it. Clean slate.
Yeah, so this week we are focusing in on getting our juvenile sealing app finalized and user tested so we can make it live in the near future. We're also working on some UX design for all of our apps and hopefully analyzing some Massachusetts prosecution data.
Awesome. And then Thad again, except this time with Windfall.
Thanks, everyone. So I will also be running the Windfall project tonight. Depending on how many folks come from each side, I will spend more or less time on either side. But the Windfall project last week made some great progress. We have the C++ official Windfall calculator runs 100% in JavaScript. So yay. The next trick is to figure out what the API should look like in JavaScript and how we sort of wrap that into the front end that we've made at ssacalculator.org. So welcome to join in that. We're also probably going to merge some different commits and work a little bit on mobile responsive and other parts of the UI. So welcome if you have React or want to work on Social Security policy. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Thad. And then Aiden or someone from the Get Us PPE project may be with us tonight.
Yeah, hi.
Hello.
Thanks so much for having us. I'm Aiden. I'm a project manager with Get Us PPE. And because we are guests here, I thought I'd give us a brief organizational overview and update, and then turn over to our tech product manager, Cody, who's also here. So Get Us PPE is a national organization that connects donated PPE to healthcare workers and those who need it most. Right now, those who need it most are protesters. It's impossible to social distance at protests. Many people, don't come with proper PPE, and so we're getting handmade masks primarily to protest as much as we can to stop the spread of COVID. And we have some exciting technological updates that I'll pass over to Cody to give a little intro to.
Thanks, Aiden. Yeah, and pleasure to be here, guys. So for those of you who aren't familiar, Aiden gave a great overview, but a little bit of our history. We've, so far we're kind of on pace to deliver, over 1 million pieces of PPE each and every month so far. And what we're looking to do is today we're finalizing our roadmap over the next 4 sprints, so essentially 8 weeks or so. Looking at how do we take that from 1 million pieces of PPE per month and start to exponentially increase that. So building some awesome workflow tools, some great ways to reach out to our frontline workers, both in hospitals and those who are on the front lines and other places as well, as Aiden mentioned. So Node.js app, Vue.js on top, pretty professionalized dev organization. And, continuing to move towards that. So if you have any interest in Node, Vue, or getting involved, we can absolutely hook you up and mentor you a little bit in terms of getting you connected to some senior devs and some resources to help you succeed. So I'm happy to share more, but that's a brief overview.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Aiden and Cody. So what we're going to do is folks that are currently in projects are welcome to go and join your project rooms at this time. Here's the list. For new folks, you're going to stay in this room, and Alex and I are going to do new member orientation. And then after new member orientation, towards the end of that, we'll have folks from the different projects pitching. So Aiden or Cody, if you want to stay and do sort of a second pitch for new members, you're welcome to stay and hang out with us for that. Otherwise, thanks so much, everyone, for coming tonight. Remember, the big thing about small things is they add up. Happy hacking, everyone. And